This is the story of how Norwegian singer Jordan demonstrated that the music industry's reliance on pitch correction remains a massive corporate illusion. Refusing to utilize autotune in an era dominated by algorithmic perfection, this young artist triggered what commentators call the organic revolution. To comprehend why recording executives find themselves panicking today, understanding the software machine originally built to fix human voices becomes essential. Valley, California, served as the birthplace of Antares audio technologies upon its founding in 1990. What followed next shaped the entire future of global sound production. 7 years later, on September 19, 1997, the company released a proprietary audio processor directly to the public domain. They named this groundbreaking digital software Autotune. Designed with a highly specific and discrete purpose, the original application measured and altered pitch to the nearest exact semitone to correct off-key vocal inaccuracies. Producers viewed this technology as an invisible safety net intended simply to save expensive studio time. And this is where things changed. The turning point came when that tool escaped its studio boundaries. Extreme pitch manipulation officially infiltrated commercial radio when Cher released her massive global hit song Believe during the winter of 1998. The robotic distortion generated by the track sounded so revolutionary that the original producers actually lied about their methods. Protecting their lucrative production secret remained their absolute top priority. Claiming they utilized a standard vocoder pedal, the production team actively hid their absolute reliance on the newly released Autotune software from the general public. What followed next sparked a significant internal battle. Hearing the heavily manipulated track for the first time, label executives hated the heavy distortion and demanded its removal. Defending the unique sound, Cher famously told her management team that they could change the song over her dead body. She won that pivotal argument decisively, and this is where things changed for the entire recording business. Accidentally laying the foundation for the next 3 decades of pop music, that single defiant decision normalized robotic vocal processing. The turning point came when an invisible digital safety net officially transformed into a highly sought-after stylistic effect. Transforming from a discrete audio tool into a stylistic requirement, pitch correction eventually became a foundational crutch for the entire entertainment business. By the 2020s, the controversy surrounding this software escalated into a full-blown argument regarding corporate deception. Modern critics maintain a remarkably simple position regarding the state of pop music. Major record labels no longer deploy these digital processors as creative instruments. Instead, wealthy studio executives utilize the advanced digital technology to artificially manufacture visually appealing pop idols who completely lack genuine vocal talent or musical ability. What followed next pushed the boundaries of artificial artistry even further. Marketing advanced like the AI-powered vocal chain, Antares completely eradicated the barrier to sounding like a professional singer. And this is where things changed for aspiring musicians everywhere. Operating these advanced digital systems allows virtually anyone to achieve perfect studio-quality pitch without years of vocal training. The turning point came when listeners realized the pop machine prioritized aesthetic perfection over actual musical ability. Pitch correction represents massive financial business for the corporate entities controlling the underlying digital architecture. Generating an estimated $3.5 million in annual revenue, Antares Audio Technologies operates with roughly 84 employees according to the company database. The financial monetization of this empire cemented itself firmly in April 2019. Seeking lucrative returns, Capital Partners and Corbel Capital Partners successfully invested substantial financial capital directly into the rapidly expanding California-based audio software company. What followed next, the industry's absolute reliance on artificial perfection. Modern music producers who deliver top-charting, heavily processed tracks routinely command advances reaching up to $150,000 per album. And this is where things changed regarding studio recording budgets. Financial incentives heavily favor electronic manipulation over traditional acoustic recording methods. The turning point came when financial institutions recognized that manufacturing flawless vocal performances yielded unprecedented corporate dividends. Guaranteeing perfect audio files removes the inherent financial risk associated with authentic human talent. Defending their reliance on digital perfection, top producers continuously push back against the growing public narrative, claiming their modern recording methods represent a massive corporate scam. Industry veterans argue that audio processors function simply as modern instruments or vital time-saving editing utilities. Prominent artists defend the technology as a legitimate method to push human vocals into entirely new sonic territory. What followed next highlighted the deep division between traditionalists and modern electronic producers. The creative teams behind acts like Bon and Taylor Swift regularly utilize advanced pitch correction software. And this is where things changed in the realm of critical music analysis. Writing in 2018, prominent music critic perfectly summarized the overwhelming digital phenomenon gripping the recording business. He officially described autotune as the fad that just wouldn't fade away. The turning point came when accurately noted that the utilization of vocal processing software remains more entrenched than ever before. Despite mounting criticism, the core foundation of modern pop continues relying heavily upon synthetic algorithmic manipulation to achieve success. Massive cracks within the silicon facade finally began appearing across the global entertainment landscape throughout 2025 and 2026. Streaming platforms suddenly found themselves battling an unprecedented influx of entirely fabricated artificial intelligence artists flooding their digital libraries. Audiences unknowingly consumed fake musical acts presented as genuine historical performers. A viral, entirely synthetic 1950s blues singer named Bertha Lightning successfully deceived thousands. What followed next triggered a massive shift in consumer listening habits. Experiencing severe digital fatigue, the general public completely rejected the relentless stream of overproduced artificial content. And this is where things changed for the corporate recording machine. People grew completely exhausted with perfect, soulless audio tracks generated by algorithms. The turning point came when listeners desperate for something genuine began demanding actual human emotion from their musical entertainment. Rejecting the sterile perfection offered by modern pop idols, audiences worldwide actively searched for raw talent capable of delivering authentic, unedited performances without relying upon standard computer assistance. Entirely disconnected from the synthetic pop machine operating out of California, Jordan brought a completely different energy to the stage. Born in Oslo, Norway on January 10, 2006, the young singer cultivated a raw, jazz-infused, and totally unedited vocal style. She heavily favors capturing one-take live recordings instead of building heavily processed studio tracks. What followed next introduced her immense talent to a massive global audience. Winning Norway's Got Talent in 2014, the 8-year-old prodigy secured the national championship by performing Jordan's classic composition Summertime. And this is where things changed dramatically for her international career trajectory. 6 years later at age 13, she achieved massive viral success. The turning point came when her hauntingly unique rendition of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody earns highly coveted Golden Buzzer. Proving that undeniable natural ability requires absolutely no algorithmic enhancement, the Norwegian teenager captivated millions of international television viewers worldwide through pure, unedited emotional delivery. Her powerful performances stood in stark contrast to the sterile perfection dominating radio. Physical grounding remains a crucial element of every single performance delivered by the Norwegian vocal powerhouse. Performing barefoot stands as a strict personal rule, stretching back to a profound encounter from her early childhood. Traveling abroad years ago, she freely gave her own shoes to a shoeless girl. What followed next permanently defined her artistic identity and personal branding. This barefoot philosophy ties directly into her unwavering commitment to unaltered, organic authenticity. And this is where things changed regarding her public presentation. Refusing to wear footwear symbolizes a literal and figurative stripping away of unnecessary external layers. The turning point came when audiences recognized that her physical grounding mirrored her complete rejection of digital vocal manipulation. Standing firmly on the stage without shoes, she delivers raw emotion entirely unencumbered by artificial enhancements. Her stripped-down visual aesthetic perfectly complements an acoustic musical approach relying solely upon natural human capability rather than corporate software chains designed to fabricate unattainable acoustic perfection. Transitioning into her late teens, the stark contrast between her acoustic approach and the standard corporate formula became impossible to ignore. A pivotal career shift occurred between 2024 and 2026 when she established herself firmly as a fiercely independent artist. She began working closely alongside hitmaker Gad. What followed next directly challenged the entire digital recording establishment. Officially announcing this independent collaboration in May 2024, Jordan released raw, acoustic-driven vocal tracks like Bad Valentine through Gad's Kite Records. And this is where things changed within the broader production landscape. Antares Audio Technologies remained busy marketing Autotune 2026, desperately positioning artificial vocal cleanup as a mandatory professional requirement. The turning point came when Jordan and Gad actively did the exact opposite inside the recording booth. Capturing raw, single-take vocal performances without standard digital safety nets, the independent acoustic duo successfully proved that authentic human talent requires absolutely zero corporate silicon intervention. Their collaborative efforts openly mocked the algorithmic perfection demanded by major record labels. Spring 2026 brought a massive cultural movement triggered directly by the glaring contrast between organic talent and algorithmic processing. Following the release of her highly anticipated albums Secret of Love and Secret of the Soul, prominent online media commentators heavily documented the organic revolution. News published a defining piece in March 2026. What followed next shattered the music industry's long-standing corporate illusion. Commentators officially declared her authentic new releases as the definitive death of autotune. And this is where things changed for mainstream audiences everywhere. Fans actively championed her decision to record live vocals as a massive exposure of modern recording practices. The turning point came when audiences finally understood that genuine emotional talent cannot be replicated by algorithms or hidden behind pitch correction. Rejecting the mandatory software completely, the Norwegian prodigy proved the manufactured pop machine was desperately selling an artificial auditory illusion that modern consumers no longer need to purchase. Her undeniable ability eliminated the industry safety net entirely.